How is it possible to extract oil from a grain that, to the touch, seems completely dry?
Imagine millions of hard, dry corn kernels being transformed into pure liquid by machines that work so fast they seem to defy human vision.
Every second, tons enter metallic funnels that swallow everything as if famished.
And that's just the entryway to one of the most impressive industrial chains in the world.
The corn oil manufacturing process involves violent temperatures, grinding as fine as dust, and a sequence of steps so sensitive.
You subscribed? Then tell me, what other common food do you think goes through the most brutal process before reaching your table? Tell me here in the comments.
Soon after this first brutal selection of the grains comes a curious detail. All this to ensure that only the perfect corn enters this mechanical ritual that transforms the impossible into oil. The first impact upon entering a corn oil factory is to realize the absurd scale of everything. Trucks dump mountains of corn into giant silos, capable of feeding an entire city. Each grain passes through optical sensors that analyze color, shine, and micro defects in fractions of a second. After selection comes washing and precise drying. Here, every detail matters. 1% more humidity.
It's like preparing an athlete. Nothing can be off. The next step is grinding, where the corn is crushed until it becomes a dense flour.
Roller mills separate husks, germ, and starch. And it's in the germ, the smallest part of the kernel, that the true treasure lies.
A curiosity that surprises many people. From 100 kilograms of corn, less than 5 kilograms have real potential to produce oil.
With the germ isolated, mechanical pressing begins. Imagine a steel screw compressing the material with so much force.
The crude oil flows through the cracks, while the dry residue, the cake, goes for another treatment. Even so, this powerful press extracts only about 60% of the total oil. There's still a lot hidden in Hexane, the most common solvent, passes through the bran like a fine rain that dissolves the remaining oil.
The result is the micelle, which is the mixture of oil and solvent. In evaporators, the hexane is removed and recovered with impressive efficiency.
More than 99% returns to the system. The crude oil goes into heated, dark, strong-smelling tanks awaiting purification. The solid residue The chain is so efficient that some factories reuse excess heat to generate steam, keeping the process virtually self-sustaining.
But before moving on, let me ask you something. Are you enjoying this dive into corn oil engineering? Then leave your like here at Fabricas and Fatos.
And now that you've seen how oil is born from brute force combined with chemical precision, let's enter the phase that will transform.
100% pure corn oil. It's cholesterol-free. Mazola, the clear choice.
It arrives in tanks with a dark color, intense smell, and full on microscopic particles that need to be removed with
Each step functions like a filter that polishes the oil until it becomes clear, light, and completely safe for consumption.
The oil is heated and mixed with treated water. This water reacts with phospholipids, forming a kind of gum that separates naturally from the oil. When this gum is removed, the liquid already begins to take on a more uniform appearance. The curious thing is that this gum, which many people imagine being discarded, is reused by the pharmaceutical and feed industries. Nothing is lost, and that's exactly what makes this process so fascinating.
Each byproduct finds a new path. After degumming comes neutralization, responsible for removing free fatty acids.
These acids would leave the oil with an unpleasant taste and reduce its durability.
To eliminate them, the oil is mixed with a mild alkaline solution, usually sodium hydroxide. This solution, it's as if the oil undergoes a chemical bath that restores its essential purity. Science makes something invisible.
The next step is bleaching, a process that involves special clays capable of capturing even smaller impurities.
When the oil passes through large filters filled with this material, it emerges visibly clearer. It's an almost hypnotic moment for those who observe it.
The dark oil turns into a yellowish and translucent liquid before our eyes.
But even with all this evolution, an essential step is still missing: deodorization.
The name may seem simple, but the process is surprising.
This combination of heat and absence of oxygen creates a perfect environment to eliminate everything that could compromise.
At this point, it's worth pausing and thinking about the complexity of this transformation. We started with dry grains, practically without any oily appearance.
Taking advantage of this moment, let me ask, which stage of this purification did you find most impressive so far?
Comment below and also tell us which city or state you are watching Fabrica and Fatos from. Back to the process, the last part of this.
It's no exaggeration to say that this filtration works almost like an invisible sieve, separating the perfect oil from any microscopic imperfection.
When this stage finishes, the oil is officially ready for the next phase, final refining and bottling. From here, ultra-fast machines will take over, filling, sealing, and labeling thousands of bottles per minute.
This is the stage you will now get to know, and you will be surprised by the speed of these production lines.
When the oil comes out of purification, it is already clean and edible, but it still needs to go through the stage that guarantees.
This phase combines thermal precision, advanced filtrations, and strict quality controls.
The oil is heated again, this time in an extremely controlled manner, to adjust its viscosity and remove any trace that could compromise its durability.
Sensors scattered throughout the pipes monitor temperature, pressure, and flow in real time, like invisible guardians.
Next, the oil mar reaches the polishing hole lines, where it passes through microfilters capable of retaining particles so small that...
It's impressive to observe how enormous machines are dedicated to polishing such a light liquid.
With each new filtration, the oil gains more transparency until it reaches that characteristic shine that the consumer recognizes on the shelf.
It's one of the most elegant moments in the entire factory.
With the oil totally ready, we enter the most impressive point of this act, the bottling line.
A true mechanical ballet. Imagine dozens of empty bottles being aligned with millimeter precision, while robotic arms position them on the conveyor belt.
Next, filling nozzles descend in perfect synchrony, releasing the exact amount of oil into each bottle.
There is no waste, no error. It's like watching a perfectly rehearsed industrial choreography. And here's a number that always surprises anyone who visits these factories. Some production lines can fill more than 600 bottles per minute. An impressive number. This means that in less than 10 seconds, a single machine produces enough bottles to supply a small market in your neighborhood.
Nothing goes unnoticed. After filling, the bottles move to the capping station,
where specialized machines precisely place and seal each cap. This ensures the oil is perfectly protected and maintains its freshness until it reaches your table.
As garrafas seguem para seladoras, onde tampas são colocadas com torque calibrado.
A força precisa ser exata, forte o suficiente para evitar vazamentos, mas nunca além do necessário para que o consumidor consiga abrir facilmente.
Antes de serem enviadas ao empacotamento, todas as garrafas passam por uma etapa de inspeção óptica, onde câmeras de alta resolução...
Depois da inspeção, chegamos ao empacotamento, onde máquinas montam caixas de papelão em segundos e organizam garrafas em fileiras perfeitas. Paletizadoras automáticas empilham essas caixas em blocos gigantes, prontos para o transporte. Cada pallet pode carregar centenas de garrafas.
É nesse momento que a grandiosidade do processo fica evidente.
de grãos secos e duros a garrafas perfeitamente seladas.
O óleo de milho passa por uma jornada de força bruta, delicadeza química, precisão robótica e controle de qualidade quase obsessivo.
Em seguida, nós vamos explorar o impacto global desse óleo, o caminho logístico e ainda revelar uma curiosidade.
Quando as garrafas deixam a fábrica, começa uma etapa tão complexa quanto toda a produção, a distribuição.
Ali, sistemas inteligentes organizam tudo por região, demanda e data de fabricação. Da pelagem. Cada lote tem destino específico e nada pode sair do planejamento. A cadeia inteira depende dessa precisão.
É curioso pensar que um produto tão comum tem um impacto global tão grande.
O óleo de milho é usado em restaurantes, padarias, redes de fast food e indústrias de alimentos.
2 appetizers on the pass.
Yes, chef. Behind you.
Honestly, nothing beats a good burger on a sunny day. Absolutely, and these fries are incredible.
Sua estabilidade e sabor neutro fazem dele um dos preferidos para frituras profissionais.
Mas o lado menos conhecido dessa história é ainda mais impressionante. O óleo de milho também tem usos não alimentares. Ele participa
Sua composição permite modificações químicas que o tornam versátil e valioso para várias indústrias. É como se o óleo tivesse uma identidade dupla, alimento na cozinha e ferramenta essencial em setores complexos da economia.
Uma curiosidade que até muitos profissionais não conhecem é que parte do óleo de milho é usada na produção de medicamentos, especialmente com presídios revestidos.
O óleo atua como lubrificante na prensa, garantindo que os comprimidos não grudem e que o revestimento fique uniforme. Mais uma prova de que um simples grão pode influenciar áreas completamente diferentes da vida humana.
Quando chega ao supermercado, a jornada de centenas de quilômetros finalmente se encerra.
Tá 20. Cada garrafa, alinhada e brilhante na prateleira, carrega dentro de si uma ilha de forças gigantes.
Which one do you think we should get, the olive oil or the sunflower oil?
The yellow one, Mommy.
Just like my mother used to use. It's the best.
Países que produzem milho em larga escala utilizam o óleo como parte estratégica de exportação. Ele é estável, fácil de transportar e muito valorizado.
Trailers. Em alguns portos, o carregamento acontece em tanques enormes, parecidos com os usados para combustíveis. Reclamação. No fim dessa jornada, fica claro que o óleo de milho não é apenas um ingrediente. É o resultado de bruta força.
Uma cadeia inteira de pessoas e máquinas trabalham em persódia para entregar um produto, mas carece simples.
E agora eu te pergunto, depois de acompanhar todo esse caminho, qual parte dessa cadeia você jamais imaginou que fosse tão complexa?
Comenta aqui embaixo. E claro, se ainda não é inscrito aqui no canal Fábricas e Fatos, aproveite agora para se inscrever, porque ainda temos muitos bastidores industriais para revelar.
E se você acha que já viu tudo, então não imagina a fábrica que mostramos em nosso último vídeo. Ele já está aparecendo aí na sua tela.